National Lampoon's Vacation dropped in 1983 and never really left the culture. The Griswold family's chaotic road trip to Wally World gave us characters so unforgettable that what happened to them after the cameras stopped is honestly just as wild as the movie itself. Let's get into it. Number 1. Chevy Chase as Clark Griswold, the forever optimistic dad whose grand plans had a gift for blowing up in his face. Chase was already a household name at 39, having helped launch Saturday Night Live back in 1975. Today, he is 82. But here is the thing. The charm he poured into Clark on screen was a sharp contrast to the man people described behind the scenes. A physical brawl with Bill Murray in 1978 became one of Hollywood's most retold backstage legends. In 2012, he was fired from NBC's Community after an alleged racial slur on set. On the personal side, though, he married Janie Luke in 1982, just 1 year before Vacation hit theaters, and the two are still going strong today, having raised 3 daughters and recently stepped into grandparenthood. In 2026, an authorized documentary titled I'm Chevy Chase and You're Not Arrived, taking an honest and unfiltered look at his legacy, complicated reputation, and all. Number 2. Beverly D'Angelo as Ellen Griswold, the endlessly patient wife, somehow holding the family together through every disaster they walked into. Before Hollywood found her, Beverly had worked as a professional animator and trained seriously as a singer, which makes her landing in big-screen comedy feel like quite the journey. She was 31 during filming and is 74 today. Her personal life drew plenty of attention along the way. She had been married to Italian aristocrat Don Lorenzo Salviati until 1995, then entered a high-profile relationship with Al Pacino from 1997 to 2003, the two welcoming twins during those years. She never stopped working through any of it. Her turn in the 2022 dark comedy Violent Night introduced her to a brand new generation, and she has multiple projects lined up for 2026, including a film called The Prince and a documentary tied to her musical roots. Number 3. Randy Quaid as Cousin Eddie, the loud and lovable relative nobody invited but absolutely everyone remembers. He came into this film carrying real acting weight, including an Oscar nomination for The Last Detail back in 1973. Cousin Eddie was written as a minor supporting role, but audiences went so crazy for him that he came back for every single sequel. Randy was 32 during production and is 75 today. But his off-screen story took a turn nobody saw coming. He married Evie Modellanis in 1989, and they stayed together. But starting around 2009, the couple became tabloid fixtures as legal troubles kept piling up. Things got so intense that Randy and Evie fled to Canada in 2010, claiming they were being hunted by a shadowy group they called the Starwhackers. He has barely appeared on screen since. Number 4. Anthony Michael Hall as Rusty Griswold, the teenage son dragged along for every mile of the family catastrophe. He was only 15 when Vacation filmed, and the confidence he brought to that role at that age is still something to see. Within 2 years, he had become the face of 1980s teen cinema through his back-to-back John Hughes films, including 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, and Weird Science. He then deliberately stepped away from those kinds of roles rather than get swallowed by them, a bold move that paid off over time. In 2017, he pleaded no contest to a misdemeanor assault charge tied to an altercation with a neighbor. He married Lucia Oscarova in 2020, and the couple welcomed their first son, Michael Anthony Hall II, in June 2023. Now 58. His career is in the middle of a genuine comeback with a regular role in Season 3 of Amazon's Reacher and a guest spot on Netflix's Wednesday. Number 5. Christie Brinkley as the girl in the Ferrari, the one image in this entire movie that made Clark Griswold temporarily forget he had a wife, a family, and a station wagon. She was coming off 3 consecutive Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue covers between 1979 and 1981, and was one of the most recognized faces on the planet when Vacation came out. Her role was brief, but she needed only seconds of screen time to stop the film cold. Christie was 29 at the time of filming and is 72 today. Her personal life kept the tabloids busy for years. Her decade-long marriage to musician Billy Joel from 1985 to 1994, and her marriage to architect Peter Cook, which collapsed in a very public 2008 divorce after infidelity allegations, both played out under intense public scrutiny. These days, she runs her Bellissima Prosecco brand and remains a consistent presence in the fashion world. Number 6. John Candy as Lasky, the security guard at Wally World who shows up in the final minutes and delivers one of the most satisfying endings in comedy history. His warmth on screen never felt manufactured for a single second. By the time Vacation came out, he was just getting started on one of the most beloved comedy filmographies of his generation, with Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Uncle Buck, and Cool Runnings all still ahead of him. John was 32 on set. He would have turned 75 inches 2026, but the world lost him on the 4th of March 1994, at just 43 years old, while filming a Western on location in Mexico. He married Rosemary Hobor in 1979, and they remained together until the very end, raising 2 children, Jennifer and Christopher. Canada honored him with an induction into its Walk of Fame, and his films keep finding brand new audiences with every passing decade. Number 7. Imogene Coca as Aunt Edna, the elderly relative who falls asleep somewhere in Missouri and simply does not wake up. When Vacation filmed, Imogene was already 74 years old, meaning she walked onto that set carrying more than 5 decades of professional experience. She passed away on the 2nd of June 2001 at the age of 92 and would have turned 117 inches 2026. Long before Aunt Edna, she had helped shape the early years of American television, co-starring alongside Sid Caesar on Your Show of Shows through the 1950s and earning 6 Emmy nominations along the way. She was married twice and remained active in television and film roles well into her 80s, a career that truly never quit. Number 8. Eugene Levy as the silky car salesman who hands Clark Griswold a station wagon he absolutely did not ask for. The scene is short, but Eugene makes every single second count. He was 36 during filming and had already built a reputation for sharp, precise character work through years with the Second City Ensemble in Toronto. His personal life has been remarkably stable. He married Deborah Devine in 1977, and as he approaches 80, they are still together, an unusually long run by any standard. Their children, Dan and Sarah Levy, both went into entertainment and built massive careers of their own. Today, Eugene is arguably better known to younger audiences through Schitt's Creek, and his Apple TV Plus travel series, The Reluctant Traveler, continues pulling strong reviews heading into 2026. Number 9. Jane Krakowski as Cousin Vicky, the wide-eyed relative whose few lines in this movie somehow lodged themselves permanently in people's heads. She was just 14 years old when Vacation filmed, and her ability to deliver certain lines with complete sincerity is exactly what made them so funny. What followed was a slow, deliberate climb through Broadway, television, and film that eventually earned her Emmy and Tony Award recognition. Now 57, she hosts the game show Name That Tune and received an Olivier Award nomination in 2026 for her stage work. She was previously engaged to designer Robert Godley, with whom she has a son and has been in a long-term relationship with architect David Rockwell since. Number 10. Brian Doyle Murray as the camp comfort clerk, the man who checks the Griswolds into the kind of campsite that makes a family seriously reconsider the entire concept of a road trip. There is a version of this scene that is just a plot stop. Brian Doyle Murray turned it into something worth watching. He was 37 at the time, a seasoned comedy writer and performer with deep Saturday Night Live roots, and, notably, the older brother of Bill Murray. He is 80 today and still working, most recognizably as the voice of the Flying Dutchman on SpongeBob SquarePants, a role he has been playing for over 2 decades. He married Christina Stair in 2000 and they remained together, and he appeared on screen as recently as 2024 inches the holiday film The Christmas Letter. Number 11. James Keach as the motorcycle cop who briefly interrupts the Griswold family's chaos somewhere out on the open road. He was 35 during production and is 78 today. Most people who know his name know it through his personal life rather than his acting work. He was married to actress Jane Seymour from 1993 to 2015, a relationship that played out very publicly before ending in divorce, and the two have twin sons together. After stepping back from performing, Keach built an impressive second career behind the camera as a documentary filmmaker, producing Linda Ronstadt, The Sound of My Voice, and directing the Glenn Campbell documentary I'll Be Me, both of which earned serious critical attention and awards recognition. Number 12. Miriam Flynn as Cousin Catherine, the woman who has the misfortune of being related to both the Griswolds and Cousin Eddie at the same time. Miriam was around 31 or 32 during filming and made the family dysfunction feel completely lived in despite her limited screen time. Life beyond the set took her deep into voice acting, where she built a career most audiences would never have connected to her face. She has voiced Grandma Longneck across dozens of installments in the Land Before Time animated series and has turned up in guest roles on sitcoms, including The Neighborhood. Now 74. She had been married to director William Porter since 1977, and they raised 2 children together until his passing in 2019. She has kept working steadily in the years since. Number 13. Frank McRae, as Grover, the mechanic who convinces Clark Griswold that the family truckster is exactly the vehicle he needs. Frank brought a physicality and energy to that role that turned what could have been a throwaway scene into something genuinely funny. He was around 39 when filming wrapped, and in the years that followed, he carved out a strong supporting career through films like License to Kill and Last Action Hero, before gradually stepping away from the screen in the early 2000s. He had been married to Lena Duran since 1964, and they had one son together named Marcellus. Frank McRae passed away on the 29th of April, 2021, at the age of 80, leaving behind a long run of characters that were always bigger than their billing suggested. Number 14. Eddie Bracken as Roy Wally, the founder of the theme park the entire Griswold road trip was built around reaching. There is something perfectly fitting about a man with Bracken's history playing that role. He had been working in American entertainment since the 1930s, moving through radio, Broadway, and Hollywood. Across a career stretching more than 6 decades, he was 68 during filming. He married Connie Nickerson in 1939, and the two stayed together for 63 years, raising 5 children until her death in 2002. He passed away just months later, on the 14th of November 2002 at 87. Before that, he found a whole new audience through Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, and Rookie of the Year, 2 films that reminded younger viewers exactly who they were dealing with. He would have been 111 inches 2026. Number 15. Dana Barron as Audrey Griswold, the teenager doing everything in her power to hold on to her dignity across one of cinema's most spectacularly disastrous family vacations. Dana was 17 when the film shot and brought a grounded quality to Audrey that kept the character believable even as everything around her spiraled into complete absurdity. At 60 today, she is one of the very few members of the original cast who returned to the franchise directly, reprising the role in the 2003 TV movie National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation 2. She has been in a long-term relationship with film director Michael Vickerman, and the two have a son named Taylor. She remains genuinely connected to the fan community built around this movie, regularly showing up at conventions and keeping the Griswold family legacy alive in a way that feels personal rather than just professional.